Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's yet another Saturday. Thank you so much for staying with us right here on TV47. My name is Kyallo. And you know what? Tonight we're saying, say what? And tonight we're going to be touching a very touchy subject. I'm going to be having Pastor Sue, of course, and Ofoneke. I don't know if it's true, but he's supposed also to be joining us right here for a very interesting conversation. We're talking about, would you forgive your partner if he or she actually cheated? Me, I don't know. Me, siko sure. But you know what? We're going to be having that conversation tonight. But of course, we also have the top stories. And you know what? Let's get started with the highlights. Wafula Chebukati's family reveal of a plot to assassinate him to stop him from announcing the 2022 presidential election results.
That's how he got to Bomas. The rest, you know, and you saw. For me, that was divine intervention. Because he came home and he said, I saw somebody point a gun at me.
On a day which saw the former IEBC chief laid to rest at his Kiminini constituency home.
This Wafula Chebukati, if he was another person, we wouldn't be having the Kenya as we know it today.
We tell you why President William Ruto and Raila Odinga cooperation pact faces a historical test. Will they overcome the handshake curse in Kenyan politics?
So this is just to buy time, to read the mood, to test the waters before they do what they finally intend to do.
And on this International Women's Day, we highlight the plight of female political aspirants as they fight for their rights to vie for political. Tonight, Baringo chief among 3 killed in deadly bandit attacks as government vows tough action.
Kwenda kujisaidia anatuotesha. Na hii maaskari wako na kila kitu ya kufanya. Na wanalala hapo tu the whole day.
IEBC commissioners' interviews kick off on Monday amid controversy as different stakeholders flog integrity concerns. Margaret Nduta's family urges Kenyans to stop spreading false claims linking their kin to a drug syndicate as the government confirms it lodged an appeal against her execution.
Lakini nitawaambia hivi, nyinyi mnatafuta news. Endeleeni kueneza uongo, lakini nimewaachia Mungu.
Also tonight, CS Mutahi Kagwe has assured farmers that distribution of subsidized fertilizer will resume on Monday. All right, thank you so much for joining us. We do apologize for that slight confusion with the highlights, but you know what? Let's get straight into it. Our sign language interpreter is Roda Nyamai. Now, tonight, tension remains high in Baringo and Samburu counties following a banditry attack on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, leaving 3 people dead. Now, the incidents have sparked tension in the area, with local residents decrying the deteriorating security situation in the North Rift this year. Samira Mohammed tells us more.
Barely a day after an intense gunfight between police and heavily armed bandits in Loruk, Baringo County, another wave of deadly attacks has rocked Baringo and Samburu counties, leaving 3 people dead, including 2 chiefs and a civilian.
We are here today because of an incident which occurred yesterday, in which we lost a chief, the chief of Loruk.
In Tiati constituency's Chipilat village, a chief was gunned down in cold blood while attempting to recover stolen livestock. Heavily armed bandits who had raided Ngaratuko ambushed him. His bullet-riddled body was discovered early Friday morning, hours after intense gunfire.
A chief, the chief of Loruk location, This is within Tiaty East.
The deteriorating security situation in Baringo County has led the National Police Service and the Ministry of Interior to launch a major operation in the region by mobilizing dozens of multi-agency teams to pursue the bandits.
The Sub-County Criminal Investigation Officer, Tiaty East, visited the scene and also commenced investigations. He collected a number of cartridges, spent cartridges, which are very essential and critical in our investigations.
Elsewhere in Samburu County, the residents took to the streets following a banditry attack that took place this morning, leaving a former chief and one civilian dead. Today's attack comes barely 1 week following another banditry attack that left 6 dead.
Tukipigwa kila siku, watoto nauliwa, wamama wanauliwa, wasee nauliwa, kila siku kwa boma tu hiyo mtu.
Hii ni msimu wa kulima. Tunajaribu kutayarisha mashamba yetu, lakini tunaona maadui wanatufamia kila siku wa mashamba yetu. Next week tuko tena na exams ya watoto. Kuna wanafunzi wetu wanafanya mtihani. Hiyo shule sasa ya Pura hakuna mtoto. Tunataka watu hakikishie tuko na usalama.
Samira Mohammed for TV47 Nairobi.
Nduta, a 37-year-old Kenyan woman sentenced to death in Vietnam for drug trafficking, has distanced themselves from reports indicating that Nduta had earlier served sentences in Ghana and Saudi Arabia. Now, the family now says that the emerging claims are part of a plan to hinder Nduta's repatriation to Kenya. Now, this comes as the Kenyan government confirms that Nduta is still alive and the two governments are in talks to solve the stalemate. Arnold Adidi tells us more.
Tension is mounting over the fate of Margaret Nduta, a Kenyan woman staring at a possible death sentence in Vietnam. Through his X account, Foreign and Diaspora Affairs Principal Secretary Korir Sing'oei assured the nation that Nduta is still alive, but time is running out. The government, he says, is racing against the clock to secure her freedom. In a desperate bid, Kenyan officials have already landed in Vietnam, where Nduta is being held. PS Sing'oei confirmed her safety but admitted that the case is precarious. An appeal has been filed, but the real battle lies in the high-stake diplomatic negotiations between Kenya and Vietnam. Meanwhile, back home, Nduta's family is in turmoil, furious over reports claiming that she had prior convictions in Ghana and Saudi Arabia. Her sister, Jane Wangare, is adamant Nduta had never set foot outside Kenya before 2023 when she left for Vietnam.
Mpaka wakati wa uchaguzi Nduta alikuwa huku na alichaguania Ruai. Nduta wakati huo hata alikuwa agent wa MP kule Ruai. Ndiye alikuwa anamsimamia kule. Nduta amekuwa akifanya kazi mtaani kule Ruai. Nduta amekuwa akifanya kazi ya Kware kule Ruai. So hii mambo yote tunayaona kwa social media. Mara Nduta alikuwa na watoto. Sistangu hana mtoto.
The family now believes these reports are part of a sinister plot to derail efforts to bring Nduta back home. They are pleading with Kenyans to ignore misinformation that could cost their daughter her life.
So nikisikia hizi fununu zote nasikia Nduta alikuwa ameenda Ghana, sijui Nduta alikuwa ameenda Saudi Arabia. Even as kama familia tunashindwa, what are these? Na hii fununu zote na haya mambo yote yanatoka wapi?
Kama kuna maybe passport zinapatiwa nangu wa mlango ya nyuma, hata mimi nijue juu sijui, na nijue kama sistangu angetoka hapa Kenya na ID peke yake.
As the diplomatic standoff intensifies, nominated MP Sabina Chege is demanding, she's calling on the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs to overhaul travel mechanisms for Kenyans seeking opportunities abroad, warning that Nduta's case could just be the tip of the iceberg.
We need the Ministry of Labour to come out seriously and vet afresh all the agencies. I'm not saying agencies are all wrong. We've even seen some of them having a lot of drama here in Kenya.
The clock is ticking, and for Margaret Nduta, every second counts. Arnold Adidi, TV47.
All right, well, thanks, Arnold, for that. Now, moving on, despite his previous promise to ensure gender balance in state appointments, President William Ruto appears to be falling short of this promise as the number of female CSs, PSs and ambassadors keep declining with each reshuffle made. Now, this being a clear indication that Kenya is far from bridging the gender gap. Elizabeth Atieno now reports.
When President William Ruto took office on the 13th of September 2022, he made a bold promise to uphold gender equality and implement the 2/3 gender rule.
On the matter of gender parity, I am committed to the 2/3 gender rule as enshrined in our constitution. We will work with Parliament to fast-track various legislative proposals and establish a framework that will resolve this matter expeditiously, as I promised in our manifesto.
Despite promising that half of his cabinet will be occupied by women, only 7 women made it to the first cabinet in the Kenya Kwanza government, which translates to only 31.8%.
The participation of women in our governance does not make us lesser, it makes us greater. And their role can no longer be nominal, it must be substantive.
In July 2024, President Ruto reshuffled his cabinet, firing most of his cabinet secretaries and appointing new ones. But the number of women in cabinet dropped from 7 to only 5. So far, no administration has been able to secure the 2/3 gender rule since the enactment of the 2010 Constitution. And the bleak picture continues. In Thursday's reshuffle of principal secretaries and ambassadors, women were again sidelined. Of the 14 new appointees, only 5 were women. Among 6 new ambassadors and deputies head of mission, just 1 former health CS, Susan Nakumicha, made the cut as a permanent representative of Kenya to the UN Habitat. Additionally, Ruto nominated men to replace 3 female chairpersons at key independent commissions, whereby Ahmed Hassan replaced Anne Makori as the chairperson for the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA. Sami Chepkwony replaced Lynn Mengich as the chairperson for the Salaries and Remunerations Commission, SRC, and Charles Orinda replaced Florence Kajuju as the chairperson of the Commission on Administrative Justice, CAJ. In March 2024, President Ruto announced that UDA will select a female running mate in the 2027 general election, and now only time will tell if this promise will be fulfilled. But based on the appointments made during his 2.5 years in office, it is clear that the realization of the 2/3 gender rule remains nothing more than a political mirage. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
All right, now, former Cabinet Secretary Raphael Tuju has accused the Supreme Court of Kenya judges of bias and irresponsibility in handling key cases, citing their language in the 2022 presidential petition ruling and their conduct in cases involving Dairy Limited. Well, in an open letter to Chief Justice Martha Koome, Tuju questioned the impartiality of some Supreme Court judges, alleging they have engaged in public discussions on active cases before the High Court and the Judicial Service Commission. He claimed this undermines judicial integrity. Well, he also criticized the court's handling of the 2022 presidential petition, arguing that its dismissal used inappropriate language that inflamed an already divided nation. He specifically took issue with the court's reference to the petition as hot air and a wild goose chase. Tuju warned that the Kenya remains a fragile and could become a failed state if its institutions, including the judiciary, do not uphold fairness. Now, the clock is ticking as the process to fill the crucial positions at the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, gets underway, with the nation watching closely. A pressing question lingers of whether the new leadership will actually uphold the Commission's independence, as Ruga Eval now reports concerns over political influence and transparency in the selection process continue to dominate public discourse. Take a look.
Less than 24 hours to go. The nation stands at a crossroads. The long-awaited process to constitute a new IEBC is set to begin. Yet, as the countdown nears zero, fears of political influence and compromise threaten to overshadow the exercise. The IEBC is the last line of defense for Kenya's democracy, but questions low. Will this panel deliver a truly independent commission? Or are we witnessing a carefully orchestrated capture of the electoral body? With Dr. Nelson Makanda at the helm, the 7-member selection panel has a grave responsibility to pick a chairperson and 6 commissioners who can withstand political pressure. But civil society groups, led by ILOG's national coordinator Mule Musao, are sounding the alarm. Will the panel ask the hard questions, or will this process be a rubber-stamped affair?
Vet each candidate, give each candidate ample time to be able to explain themselves why they deserve the position.
But even before the interviews begin, troubling signs have emerged. Pundits warn that the recurrent trend of recycling familiar names with political ties could spell disaster for Kenya's electoral future. If individuals with questionable loyalties make it through, the credibility of future elections may be irreparably damaged.
Of importance will be we will need individuals, Kenyans who have credible characters, who have integrity.
And the fact that some candidates have links to prominent political figures raises eyebrows. Some of the shortlisted candidates are alleged to be having ties with President William Ruto and ODM Supremo Raila Odinga. An alleged morass that Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni claims might spell the entire process shambolic.
Na hiyo sheria ilisema kwamba kutakuwa na pande mbili ambazo zitahusishwa katika uamuzi ama kuteua wale commissioners. Pande moja ni ile ambayo ilikuwa inaongozwa na Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga, pande ile nyingine ni ile inaongozwa na Mheshimiwa William Ruto. Leo hii Mheshimiwa Raila na William Ruto wako moja. Sasa hapo hatari imeingia, sababu sasa wale commissioners watachaguliwa watakuwa sehemu moja.
The high-stakes interviews begin on March 24 this year at the College of Insurance in South Sea, Nairobi. For 3 days, 11 candidates will face scrutiny from the selection panel, each hoping to secure the crucial role of IEBC chairperson. The chopping will feature the following. The first day, Abdul Kadir Lorot Ramadhan is first on the list to be grilled, followed by Ann Atieno Amadi, Charles Ayako Nyachai, Edward Katamangeyo. On the second day, and that is March 25th, Erastus Edung Edekon, Francis Kakai Kissinger, Jacob Ngwele Muvingei, and Joy Brenda Masinde Mdivo. On the third day, which is 26th of March, Lilian Wanjiko Managene, Robert Akumo Asembo, and Saul Simiyu Wasilwa. From March 27th, the interviews for the commissioners will begin. Candidates must bring the following documents to their interviews: original national identity cards or passports, academic and professional certificates, and valid clearance certificates from the DCI, HELB, EACC, CUE, and CRB. The public is invited to submit memoranda regarding the suitability of candidates under oath to ensure transparency and accountability. Ruga Eval, TV47.
All right, thanks you very much, Ruga, for that. Now moving on tonight, Super Metro Vehicles, whose operating license was suspended by the National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA, began an inspection exercise to avert the ban. Now on Thursday, the NTSA ordered the inspection of nearly 294 vehicles, and by Saturday, over 60 had been assessed for roadworthiness, with the exercise set to continue on Monday. Now some Super Metro drivers remain optimistic, hoping to resume operations once inspections are complete.
So I just put karaoke. nafanya kwa hiyo route ya Spametro. Nimefanya kwa miaka 3 sasa. Nafanya kwa route ya kwenda Makogo, Thika, Kahawa West, Juja, Kikuyu. Yaani nafanyia Kiambu yote. Na leo nimekuja inspection hapa na tumefanywa mzuri, imeangaliwa kila kitu, mishipi, governor, kila kitu imekuwa sawa.
Okay, now moving on, farmers in Uasin Gishu County are raising concerns over fertilizer shortage at the Eldoret depot, fearing it could disrupt the ongoing planting season. Now, the scarcity has sparked anxiety among growers, with many worried about delayed farm operations. Now, in a rejoinder, Agriculture Minister Mutahi Kagwe has attributed the shortage to distribution challenges, but assured farmers that the government will begin the distributions by Monday. Mike Kyallo reports.
While at the NCPB depots in Eldoret, the farmers are raising the alarm over what they call a blatant discrimination in the fertilizer distribution. They accuse authorities of sidelining smallholders, giving unfair priority to large-scale farmers as the crucial planting season kicks off.
Kuna mbolea ya lori zilishukishwa, but nikaambiwa nikuje leo. Kufika leo wananiambia mbolea imeisha, hakuna. Na ningependa kuomba His Excellency the President aweze kuharakisha hizo mbolea zifike kwa haraka kwa sababu mvua imeanza.
Nimekuja saa 2, nimekuja kutafuta mbolea, lakini nimearifiwa kwamba mbolea iliisha jana, which nastuka sana kwa sababu mimi naona lori ikibeba mbolea.
But the crisis goes beyond Eldoret, as a severe shortage of government-supplied fertilizer has paralyzed many depots nationwide, leaving farmers in a desperation and fearing massive crop failure.
Serikali bila ilianza kusajili wakulima, nafikiria database yao iko na wakulima wote vile walikuwa wanatakiwa, kulingana na wale wanataka panda mahindi, wale wanapanda ngano. Kama wote walisajiliwa, inajulikana ni kiasi gani na idadi yao ya mbolea ni ngapi.
On his side, Agriculture CS Mutahi Kagwe admits the distribution mess, blaming technological glitches and system failures for delaying fertilizer vouchers.
Waziri atusaidie mbolea. Mutahi, tafadhali. Tunataka mbolea, ni msimu wa mvua na tunaomba utusaidie mbolea tupande. Kwanza mama amesema anataka ile nyeusi inaitwa DAP.
With time running out, the government has announced an emergency intervention of 1 million bags of fertilizer to be distributed starting Monday next week. But will this commodity reach to those who need it most? Mike Kyallo, TV47.
Well, thanks, Mike. I don't know if yours is Kyallo or Kyallo. All right, now moving on. As the world marks World Water Day, Laikipia County has called for the collective efforts to conserve water sources, highlighting the increasing conflicts caused by water scarcity. Now, speaking in Laikipia County, Water, Sanitation and Irrigation Cabinet Secretary Eric Muga emphasized the government's commitment to addressing the water crisis. Well, he announced that over 300 boreholes will be drilled and water shortage tanks will be distributed to harness rainwater during the wet season. Now, additionally, Muga urged residents to adopt sustainable water conservation practices, including tree planting, to preserve glaciers and protect water catchment areas.
This year, the world, as we celebrate the World Water Day, tuna celebrate preservation of what? Glaciers. Barafu inaendelea kupungua kila kuchao. Kila mwaka barafu inapungua. Na hayo ndio mambo tunazungumzia leo. Tufanye catchment protection, to protect the environment, na pia tufanye kazi ya kuhakikisha kwamba yale maji yako pale yanaendelea kudumu kwa miaka ijayo. Shida kubwa ya maji inadhuru kila mtu, aswa kina mama.
Wakati huu tukishikana na serikali, our people will never again continue to travel those kilometers. Na tuko na policy katika hii county ile tutakuja tusemesane pamoja, kwa sababu tumesema kabla ya 2027, as we are not waiting for 2030, tunataka by 2027 hakuna mtu yeyote wetu wa Laikipia atakuwa anatembea zaidi ya kilomita 2 ati anaenda kutafuta maji ya kunywa. Na kwa hivyo sisi wakati tunaona Tigithi Umboka Water Project, tunashukuru sana.
Okay, it's now time for sports. So why I'm smiling is because Pastor Sue just entered the studio and she's already just saying some very interesting things. I can't wait for that conversation later on. But for now, let's take a look at some sporting action. And Kenya Power is the official lighting partner for the ongoing WRC Safari Rally 2025. Now, the company has provided enough electricity supply to light up the Safari Rally Service Center located at the Wildlife Research and Training Institute in Naivasha. Now, the service park serves as the central hub where rally vehicles receive crucial maintenance and repairs between race stages. Enhanced lighting at the service park has empowered the service teams to work uninterrupted throughout the rally period.
One of the essential provider and coming as a sponsor, it's a plus to us. If you compare this year and the last year, you can see we have lighting most of the areas of my operations. Artist team, you can see my operations. Artist team, you can see when they're working at night because the help came through and people can enjoy to work 24 hours without calling us that the generators have gone dry because of diesel. The operations have been going on. We've never had any power cut out, so the efficiency has given us more points than even the last year.
All right, I mean, if you're in Naivasha, if you are actually in Naivasha, you know, you just better actually enjoy on behalf of all of us who are still working. But moving on, the first batch of the Kenya Masters Athletics team to this year's World Masters Athletics Indoor Championships left last evening for the event slated for Gainesville, Florida, USA. Now, the team led by former 400 meters hurdler Dr. Rose Tatamuya was presented the Kenyan flag by Deputy Director of Sports Caroline Karaoke on behalf of the CS Sports Salim Vuria at their hotel before departing to the airport. Now, the team has been in a residential camp for the past 7 days. The championships will start tomorrow up to 30th of March this year.
Ile ndogo iko wapi Kerubo? Ile nini kadogo kachema. Kako kule nyuma. Kako pale ndani. Ziko ndani. Sikuliaka zote ndani. Hiyo karatasi na nini hapo?
Na niko kwa timu ya Masters. Masters ni event yenye nakimbiliwa na categories. So my category is W50. And now today we are leaving to Florida for the World Masters Indoors Athletics.
Tunaenda kupigania nchi yetu na najua wachezaji wetu wako strong enough.
Ambaye nilienda kuangalia mwenyewe katika stadium yetu. Wanaendelea vizuri. Sipokuwa tu ni kwamba unajua wakienda pale ni baridi. Lakini kwa sababu ni indoor ambaye itakuwa tu iko warm. Nafikiri tutakuja na medali.
Naanza 23 to 30th. Kibinafsi nimejitayarisha vizuri. Tulifanya trials November last year. I won in my category, nikachaguliwa kwa team. Na nimechaguliwa pia hiyo nafasi ya captain, assistant captain.
Sports news brought to you by Maybet. Bet bila stake. Predict the outcome of 8 pre-selected games and win up to 100,000 shillings. Only at maybet.com.
Oh my goodness. I just need us to cross over to the other side to just have that very interesting conversation with Pastor Sue. Ofoneke sijui amesema ako on his way from Nanyuki. Siamini, lakini he doesn't lie, but Lord, simuamini. But we have a fantastic conversation. And you know, it's a touchy subject, like I mentioned earlier. You know, would you forgive a cheating partner? I don't know if I would, honestly. And I want you guys to interact with us. We have a phone line. If you want to call in, talk to me finally from wherever part of the country you're in. Just talk to me on WhatsApp. We have the number there. You can even call in and even discuss, be part of the discussion. I'll be having Pastor Sue. She looks so pretty today. So we're going to be seeing you in a few minutes. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's mind. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Aurora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth, as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water?
Yes. Should be able to see the other side of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken enough water.
Don't forget regular health checkups. Early detection saves lives.
I want the message be, we can prevent cervical cancer. We prevent cervical cancer in several ways. You have young girls and even somebody who's above that age, you can pay at least every 3 years. Somebody should have a pap smear done.
If you are 40, 45, 50 going upwards, once a year, please go see a doctor. Yeah, it's just for normal routine maintenance.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in? I was number 2. What position were you? Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Jiunge nasi tunapoangazia safari za viongozi bora. Kutoka kwa ushindi mkubwa hadi masomo magumu.
Wakati wetu kwamba wasichana si wa kusoma, ni wa kuolewa, ng'ombe ipatikane, wazazi wakuwa watajiri.
Tunashughulikia yote.
I wish I were a better investor.
My parents taught me how to look for things for myself.
Tazama Mfahamu Kiongozi, ambapo kila kipindi kimejaa maarifa, mikakati na hadithi za kukuza azma yako.
For me to succeed, I have to fight.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water.
Yes. Should be able to see the other side of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken enough water.
Don't forget regular health checkups. Early detection saves lives.
I want the message be, we can prevent cervical cancer. We prevent cervical cancer in several ways. You have young girls and even somebody who's above that age, you can pay at least every 3 years. Somebody should have a pap smear done.
If you are 40, 45, 50, going upwards, once a year, please go see a doctor. Yeah, it's just for normal routine maintenance.
Gentlemen, let me tell you, the drama that just went on during the break. So we have Pastor Sue here, and Pastor Sue wanted, her husband to come and be part of this conversation. But I'm about this thing. It's a very touchy topic. Would you
it's very true.
A cheating partner?
Yes. Imagine ako hapa kwa reception.
He said he's not prepared.
Yeah, I think because of what we have just done, but it's okay.
I don't want to know what you have just done.
I think that's like a lot of mental and physical energy for men. Yeah.
But first of all, you look so amazing.
Thank you, thank you. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
So we also have, ladies and gentlemen, we also have Ofaneke. He had said that Sijui he's gone on a trip. Sijui he finally, like, he was able to go out of town finally. Maybe he was going on a date, I don't know.
Ofu,
Studio Leo.
Yes.
Why? Where are you? You know today utapata paycheck. Leo ulipwi.
No, I am on air.
But how are you doing, Ukwapi? Why are you not here in studio today?
I'm somewhere at the slopes of Mount Kenya. Actually, I was on my way back. I couldn't make it. But of course, how could I miss this conversation? Because I am the voice of the men. And I speak the heart of the men. So I must be present both in spirit and in flesh.
You know, Ofu Kwanza, this topic is just yours. Because I hear you've been really accused of... I don't know, some weird behavior.
The only cheating I have is cheating in exams. And that was mathematics and chemistry in Moya Boys.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so Ofu, stay with us.
Yes.
But I just want to first of all hear from, Pastor Sue.
Yes.
Would you forgive a cheating partner?
I think I would, in the sense.
No, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, definitely. There's nothing that hurts a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Like when you find that your partner is cheating. Actually, it is the deepest and the most hurting wound in relationship and in marriage. However, at my level, I can forgive. But with also some things that I need also to see from the other person.
What do you mean at your level?
Like, for example, if someone shows that he has that remorse, the person is remorse, explains to me exactly what happened. I may be also the reason, probably, or he may also be the reason, or there might be something that probably made him to go out.
Yes.
I would want to understand what is the reason why he left out and went out and slept with another woman, and I thought I'm enough for him. And so I want to say it's not easy, as we are talking here. Even those who are listening to us can actually testify that forgiving a cheating partner is not easy.
Yes.
But you look at you weigh the situation, and you see, forgiving is not actually an event, it's a process. So this person has to show that really they are remorse, they want to change their behavior, they are really sorry for what they did, that genuine expression, showing me that really you regret for
really
what you
feel
did.
bad.
You really feel bad for having betrayed my love. But of course it's not just going to be, you can't forget immediately. You can forgive, but forgetting is a process. Why? Forgiving someone who has actually gone out and cheated on you takes about 2 to 5 years.
I think actually
2 to 5 years.
I think it's longer.
Yeah, because it's an emotional wound.
Kuna wengine pia walifanya vitu huko paka saizi.
Naumia. You get that. So the minimum is actually 2 to 5 years because it's actually a process.
Yes.
And you see, this person has actually to make sure that he shows the person who has cheated must prove to the partner that indeed they have changed.
Okay.
And how do you change? Through time. I have to give you time to see that really you have changed. I have to see your behavior, your accountability. Where are you? Whom are you with? Where are you spending your time? Because this time around, I'm actually insecure. Because once cheated, you can think this person might actually cheat you again. So it's not an easy thing, but it is possible.
It is possible if the person shows remorse. So first, I want to hear Ofu. I don't know, what do you describe as cheating, or yourself? Like, what do you describe as cheating? Ati mtu amenicheat. Yako ni gani?
First of all, we need to start understanding from the beginning. The reasons for cheating for a man are very different from reasons that women cheat. And number two, when it comes to cheating, men cheat physically, women cheat emotionally. That's why I tell men, if your woman cheats, and I'm sorry today, Pastor Sue, Mom, as much as I really love you, today I might just have to say something a little bit controversial, but I'm just being blunt enough.
Yes.
If a woman cheats on you, please, men, do not forgive.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very true.
All right?
Yes.
Because by the time a woman cheats, men need a venue. Women need a reason. So by the time because women really value themselves, they value their body. They value that one part that they'll give to the man. You get? So by the time a woman is willing to look at another face, whether in darkness or in light, under a duvet, this woman has really calculated. She's really had to do a soul searching of herself to understand, why am I doing this? What vacuum do I want to fill? So a woman cheating, there are a lot of emotions that are involved. So actually, women don't cheat. Women transfer emotions. You get? So I'm telling men today, if your woman has cheated on you in the beginning, please let her go, because her emotions have already moved. The only reason why she's still sticking by you is not because she loves you. The love has already gone. It's because she's still hanging on the memories that you have created before. Because Pastor Sue will agree with me. Many marriages and relationships are not standing on love. They are standing on the memories created, which at times creates an illusion that the two of you are still in love, yet you're not in love. So women cheat emotionally. And for the women that are listening, and I will tell you from an alpha male that I am, and a man is very sober, sane, and very exposed. If a man forgives you, it is a lie. Men don't forgive. Men prolong the punishment.
Oh, yeah?
All right?
Wow.
So the day the punishment will come, oh, mama, trust me, the devil will resign so that man will take over the devil's seat.
What about the man? You know, you're really talking about the woman.
Now I'm coming there, mama. But now for the men, all right? Most of the time when men cheat is because there's a vacuum they're looking to fill. Either it's a vacuum of acceptance, either it's a trauma caused by an absence of an important person in their lives. Either they're looking for an affirmation. That's why women complain that why would a man who is dating an MD or a top celebrity or a classy woman or a high value woman, why would a man go and cheat, with all respect, with maybe a house manager or a club waitress? It's because there's a vacuum of affirmation and acceptance and admiration and desire that this woman is feeling, that the main wife has failed to do so.
Okay.
I am not defending cheating. I am just explaining one of the reasons why men actually go to cheat. You cannot be giving me ligidishi only once a week. All right? I am an energetic man. I am eating muhombero. I am eating ginger. I am eating watermelon. Please, whenever Wanyonyi is ready, give whatever belongs to Wanyonyi.
Okay, hey, wait. Ofu, Kwanza, you always have the best advice, but you're still single, so I don't know what to trust about you. You're really struggling to get into a relationship.
The coach is never in the field. The coach is never in the field playing.
You're really struggling, but here you are giving the best advice. I mean, you need to check yourself, Ofu. Let me come.
Maybe because I told you the reason why, and this is Pastor Sue will agree with me.
Yes.
Betty, I have worked on myself, Mommy. You know, you and I are very close. You know my story.
I know.
I was a broken man. I was a man with trauma. But what I did was, men need to understand one thing. The best time to work on yourself as a man is in isolation. Every time God was about to call somebody in the Bible for an assignment, he called them away, and the Bible says, and he set him apart.
Okay.
The best time for a man to make himself is during isolation. I have isolated myself. I have cleansed myself. I have forgiven myself, because many people think it's about forgiving other people. But have you really forgiven yourself? Better, I have forgiven myself. I have healed my trauma. I'm such a high value man. I will not let any girl with her trauma come and spoil my atmosphere.
Okay, chill, bro. Tumekusikia, but then
I will not fit what I didn't break.
And I have two sisters. Talk to me nicely. Okay, one actually. Yes. 1 second. Pastor Sue, let me ask you, what are we saying about the difference between, why should there be a difference about, a woman is cheating, a man is cheating? Isn't cheating just cheating? Like, why is it like, now a woman is cheating, and now it's very different from how a man cheats? Everybody has the other partner. What do you think?
I think cheating is cheating.
Yeah.
And you see, most of the times when you talk about cheating, it's not accidental. It's actually something you have planned about. Because if you're meeting in a hotel, you are meeting somewhere to have sex, why did you not meet in an open place? Because you had to plan about it. So there's no cheating without planning. You have premeditated, you've seen it through, you have fantasized, you see all that. And that's why cheating is so painful, because you know it's not accidental. And when that happens, then it is important for the couple to understand this can become actually there's something that can break a marriage and a relationship.
Absolutely.
But I also want to add something on what he has said, that boredom is one of the causes of infidelity, especially so when you get used to one another. You take each other for granted. You're not careful about the other person's feelings, about an issue, a matter, or even themselves. And that's why it's very important for a couple to have a very good relationship whereby you can be able to air your views about something without feeling condemned, without feeling like you're not heard, just because the other person has a different opinion. I think for infidelity not to be in a marriage, feedback is very important, because if we had feedback about our toa, then this issue would not have come. He should have told me that I'm not, I'm not satisfying him. Maybe I'm unkept. Maybe there's something that is putting him off. So that communication is very important, and that's why you find one of the things that happens when there is infidelity. Couples have a poor communication skills. There's a lot of assumption. There's a lot of taking each other for granted. After all, you have someone else to lean your shoulder with. And cheating cannot happen if you don't have a second option.
Absolutely.
Yes, you must have a substitute for you to cheat. And that's why you find now when your relationship is actually, when you guys are not having a very open communication, genuine one, then, as we said, nature does not allow vacuum. I'm either connected emotionally to Pastor Monene or to something or to someone. Because I'm a relational being. Equally is also a relational being. And so that's something that we need to understand. The challenge that comes with cheating is because there's no open communication. And I feel that I'm not going to be heard. And so that boredom of doing, tuatua, just kawa. We just have it for the norm.
There's something I want to put you on. And I was speaking to Sarah Mtali. Yesterday, she was on my show yesterday.
Wonderful.
And she actually wanted to take you on onto something. She was just like, Pastor Sue anadanganya, because in marriage, it is going to be obvious that things are going to get boring. It is obvious. It is not going to be every day you look at this person and you're like, oh my goodness. I want this person. So she was like, I want to take her on. And and she was just like, it's not possible. Sometimes you see this person every day. How do you make sure that there's no that boredom?
Wow. I want to talk again about the emotional womb. And we said the emotional womb is what makes marriage. Any relationship, any marriage that gonna stay and become, generational, your emotional womb has to be done something every day. And there are several things that you can do with your husband to make sure that you people stay, connected to one another. And this is what we endeavor with Pastor Mone, no matter how busy we are. Number one is kissing. It costs you nothing. Zero cost. Zero cost. Two mouths coming together with the tongue, and you people enjoy each other.
Oh my gosh.
Another thing we do is candling. As long as we're the two of us, we candle, we touch each other. Unnecessarily, And at the end of the day, you connect because it's about the emotional womb. You get that, You keep candling. You shower together. When last did you shower together? These are things that connects you. And you find as you are showering and washing each other, you find Tuatua comes in. You get that? So there are things that you need to do to this emotional womb.
Wait.
You need to hug each other. Just hug each other until you feel the heart of the other person hugging. It's zero cost.
I don't know what that sounds like that. I get you. You know what? I want to bring in some. Let me just stop you there. Let's just also hear. We have a couple of comments from Kenyans. Let's just hear what they had to say as I recover. Oh my God.
Siwezi. Kwa sababu sasa kama anaweza toka anidanganye, what if nikikaa na yeye kwa nyumba, si bado atadanganya? Kama mtu ameamua kukaa na mimi, anakaa na mimi. But singependelea a cheat, na akicheat mimi sitaweza kukaa na yeye.
Kwa mfano mimi nikikukuta umenichiti mbele za Mwenyezi Mungu, mimi nakuhakikishia kwamba siwezi nikakusamehe. Maana hata Biblia yenyewe inakataa.
Kumsamea nitamsamea. Lakini kuna moments zenye tulikuwa tunazo lazima zitaisha.
Mtoto kama hujampatia chakula kashiba, akiona kwa jirani ama kimpatia ugali na sukuma, akiona kwa jirani wali nyama, atadoea. Kwa hivyo pia huyo partner wako pia tegemea atakuchiti, labda wewe ndio mtoshelezi katika ile mambo yako.
Mara ya kwanza naweza msamea kwa sababu utajua ni temptation gani alipata ndiye akafikia hapo. naweza msamea, lakini akirudia mara ya pili, hapo ndio sitamsamea kabisa.
Itabidi tu kama utamtaketi umwambie check bro, mimi nimekusamea, but tunaweza kaa kama brother and sister. Tukutana kule nje tutagotana fresh. Like in relationship.
Oh, I think this show should be called, you know, like Dr. Betty Relationship Clinic. Oh my goodness. Ofu, I don't know if you're there, if you've had, you know, like, wanasema, mi nitasamehea, lakini akirudia, sitamsamehea. So first of all, you know, like, we don't want broken marriages.
Yes.
We want people, even if something has happened, you have the grace to give each other space to grow and be better.
Yes.
Okay, honestly, if you ask me if I would forgive, I'm not sure.
Yes.
But Ofu, just listening to the vox pops there, how do you move on from something like that? Like, this person has done this to you. Na unasikia mwingine anasema, akirudia, ndo sasa sitamsamehea, lakini mara ya kwanza naweza msamehea. What do you think about that? Like, how do you move on from that point that it has happened?
But you see, Betty, most of the time, that part of akirudia tena, you'll never hear a man say akirudia tena ndamsamehea. Most of the time, this comes from the ladies. And I'm saying this with a lot of respect and honor to all the women around the world, including my daughters, my mom, and you two are my very good friends. Women have been graced by the heart of forgiveness. Men don't carry the heart of forgiveness. That's why the time I tell women, you have to be very careful when how you treat a man when he's down, because the day he gets up on his feet, he will not forgive you. He will revenge back. Men don't carry the heart of forgiveness. Women carry the grace of forgiveness. So that statement most of the time will come from the women, not from the men. All right? But then again, and notwithstanding, I must also admit to the fact that there are few marriages that have been reconciled after cheating. All right? And it really takes that's like we said in the first episode of it really goes back, it really draws back to do the two of you submit to the same altar? And if you submit to the altar of Christ, then forgiveness is a value that comes in with it. But the person who aggrieved must be willing to fix the mistake. All right? And genuinely fix the mistake. If it comes, let me speak for a man, because I am a man. I've never been a woman, so I'll never speak for the women. But this is the thing. And we need to, for information, we need to start making sure that we let men speak for themselves. If you've never been a woman, don't speak on behalf of men.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Now, this is it. If and I tell women, if your man cheats on you, and you discover cheats on you the first time with a woman, then the second time with the same woman, the third time with the same woman, maybe it's time for you not to get angry. It is time for you to look for that woman and actually do a research. What is it that she's doing that you're not doing?
Come on.
If a man cheats on you with different women, it's a different case. But if a man cheats on you with the same woman, then there could be something that woman is doing that you're not doing. Now, men are like babies. If you don't feed them well, if you don't give them a lollipop or a sweet, they will go to the other parent to look for it.
So unfair. It really sounds so unfair.
Men are creative. Men are creative. That's why in the Bible we were given the work of naming the animals. We are creative. Now I'm going to ask the women that are listening. I know you're going to say, Ufunike, we are busy, nilishe mtoto, nipike, niende kazini, nikatikate nyanya vitunguu, sijui nifanye nini. Men are visual beings. Women, you have to learn being exciting every single night.
Hey, that's a lot of work.
Enda ununue different colors. Leo chapa black.
That sounds like a lot of
purple.
So imagine you toka hapa studio, umeenda nyumba, hey. How do you do that?
Men hate a pattern. Men don't like patterns. Mimi utanikujia unanuka kitunguu saumu na dania. Hiyo nani uongo? Men like excite yourself. Look, leo zima chukua pale kwa bedroom, toa ile light ya kawaida ya nini, weka ya blue, weka ya purple. Fanya mavitu.
Okay, now unaenda sasa yani ni unaenda too deep. Sasa tumesikia.
Haya. Muziseme sikuambia.
So tuweke light ya blue na ile ya yellow, yeah? Okay, Pastor Sue,
Pastor Sue, as I finish, Pastor Sue.
Yes.
Agree with me on this one, my mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Nani alisema ati mabibi hawezi tumia mabwana zao V1?
Atawezi tumia nini?
Inaitwa V1.
Ati viewers.
V1 ile
V1. Ojele view once ile ya WhatsApp.
Tuma kakitu. Mwambie I can't wait for you to get home.
Ile view once Ojele unatuma picha alafu unaweza tu view once.
Ama aje pasta tu.
Hiyo ni mzuri.
Seriously? Sasa kama pasta Monene ni daktari, si hapa sasa
some people are just married to boring, some men are in boring marriages.
wewe. Ati view once. Anyway, view once means the WhatsApp messages that you can only view once.
Yeah.
What do you make of what he's saying? But also very importantly, because there are couples who are watching and they actually want direction. How do you move on from such a situation? How do you move on from it?
I think number one, we need to admit that cheating is very painful.
Yeah.
And it brings such a big wound to both the person who is actually the victim and the person who has been offended.
Yeah.
But for me, I would weigh the situation. Now that this man has never cheated on me, or this woman has never cheated on me, but this has happened, I want to know what is the root cause. Because if we don't know the root cause, then we are likely to go back to the same problem.
What if it's just lust for men, especially? What is it? It's just lust.
Aombewe hiyo last yende. We must get the root cause. For me, I can't go forth until I get the root cause. He has to explain to me, or vice versa. The person you're dealing with, your spouse, needs to explain to you exactly what made them, and they have to be very genuine. Even if it's something that is going to hurt you as the spouse, let it hurt you, but just hear it. Because if it's not well understood and you repeat it again, then chances of infidelity will still come in. So one of the things that we need to understand is there must be an open conversation and don't talk at home. No, this is not something you discuss at home.
What do you mean? Where do we
go?
talk?
In a neutral place, because we don't want to raise your voice. Your children are there, the house help is there. You want to deal this thing, the two of you, so that you can be yourself. And so I advise couples to go outside, look for a place where you can, if you want to scream, if you want to cry, you can do all that, because it is to your man and it is to your wife. So that now you can be real, and there's nothing like trying to package ourselves. And so these things do happen. But I want to say that if someone has done it the first time, for me, I would forgive them, but let them explain to me what exactly made them go out, because I think sugar is sugar. What changes is the sugar dish. So why did you go to another sugar dish? Yes, they have the same sugar. You see, now you have to explain to me. Is it the packaging of this sugar dish? Or what is it? Because sugar is sugar.
Sugar is sugar.
Yes, we need to understand that. So I want to know, what is your reason? Because if I can get the reason, then I will see whether do I need to do something, or is it something that really happens? So we need to understand the root cause. Number two, sometimes infidelity becomes very difficult to solve the two of you. So I would look for a therapist.
Like you guys.
Like now you and Pastor, you look for someone like us. Let's sit down, and from there we reconcile you people. Because the reason of sitting down is actually to reconcile. Because we said forgiveness is a process. Forgiveness is not an event. So when you understand that, then you get people whom you know they have the best interest for your husband and wife and your relationship. Not someone who is biased. Someone who is going to blame the wife and blame the husband, instead of looking at the matter, in a very broad way and see how can we help you out. And so I want to say that you can forgive, but there are marriages that people are not able to forgive.
And it's still okay.
And it's still okay. Because we need to respect each other's feelings. But I want to say this, the damage of infidelity, if people can understand, I think it will be better if you don't do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's better not to do it. Just don't do it. It's so painful.
Just make it spicy.
Just make it, just speak your mind. And then let's avoid this manipulation that is in marriage, such that when we have a misunderstanding with Pastor Monene and I get annoyed, I can stay even 3 months without toa. Because where is he going to take these billions they make every day? You see that? Now I'm punishing him. So what are we saying? We need to have a conversation with my husband and agree that no matter the misunderstanding, because conflict will actually come. And I want to say to every person who is there, one of the reasons why there is a lot of infidelity is because a couple is not able to solve their conflicts when they come. But remember, every marriage that is real, authentic, and truly you people, you are not faking, you must have misunderstanding. There must be misunderstanding. But this misunderstanding does not mean that you are not compatible. You're getting that? I have met so many people who are destined to stay together, but because they were not able to handle the matter in the right way, in a wise way, they divorced. And later on realized, I wish I gave my partner a chance, or I gave my spouse a chance. Probably what I'm going through, I would not have gone it through. Never forgive out of emotions. Be sober. Think through the heart and see how you're going to come out of it individually. I may come out of it faster. Pastor Munene may take longer. Let me allow him to be that.
Yes,
and when he
yes.
verbalizes that, that does not mean he's weak. He's only saying there's still something that has not been solved in his mind about this infidelity. So that repetition is part of healing journey to this person, but it hurts the more.
Yes,
and the more it hurts, the more it tells you, don't repeat this again. I think the reason why infidelity hurts, is a way of telling us, don't repeat this
Don't
again.
do it again.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it hurts your partner and it hurts you, who is the victim.
Well,
oh yes.
Preach.
Wow.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Amazing,
So
yes.
we want to take a short commercial break, and then we're going to be coming back, and then just to get your last thoughts about it.
Yes.
Because what you've said is very important, and I'm sure that people who you are healing,
Yes.
as they are watching, they're wanaangaliana tu hivi kwa nyumba wako like, umesikia? Tusaidiane.
Yes, but keeping quiet does not
It
solve.
doesn't
When
help.
you stay
Okay.
mute, you withdraw, you will
All
not
right.
solve that.
Okay. All right, so we'll take a short commercial break. We're coming back to just get the last thoughts. Don't go, we'll be right back.
The machinations, the red tape, the hardball, the shame, the glory, the secrets, the covert, the overt, the good, the bad, the ugly, the wins, the losses, the squabbles, the treaties, the twists, the turns, the tenders, the contracts, the game, the drama, the spats, the dossiers, the scandals, the naked truth. Even their clandestine meetings. Everything you ever wanted to know, now you'll know with a new boldly reimagined and revamped Star. Grab a copy of the Star because smart people read the Star.
Ehe, chance yako ya ku-earn 2 million kila mwezi imemwok. Introducing Maybet's referral program. Tools ni mbili, simu yako na app ya Maybet. Fungua account yako ya Maybet, under my account utapata a unique referral link ambayo utashare na mabeshte na followers wako kwa mtandao. Hakikisha wamewekelea bet within the first 7 days of registration. Kila time referral earnings zako zinafika 100, una get chance ya ku-withdraw, alafu form ijipe. Si unangam, unangoja nini? Start journey yako ya ku-earn 2 million every month. Not for persons under the age of 18. Authorized and regulated by BCLB number 680.
Maybet na minia na najishindia. Pesa inavutia, pesa inanukia.
Radio 47 inavuma ndani na nje ya nchi.
Say what? Say what?
Say what?
Let me tell you, oh my goodness, I didn't think it would be this deep, but
Yes.
here we are.
Yes.
I don't know if we have Ofu. Ofu, are you still there? Are you still with us? I'm Omenda. Omenda weekend.
How can this? I must give my last comment until the end.
Hey, umesikia vile Pastor Somonge amesema vitu mingi, lakini there's one thing I want you to talk about.
Yes.
These multiple cheaters. Una
Yes.
cheat leo na kusamehea. Especially as a man, not even
Yes.
women. Let's even leave women alone. As a man, una cheat na kuachilia. How do you move on from that? Unajua?
First of all, cheating is a decision, and I agree with Mamsu on that one. Cheating is a decision.
Yeah.
You don't slip into it. You don't hauteguki kanya kai oops kai nijipata ndani I don't know. It is a decision. By the time you unbelt, you unbra, it's a decision you made.
Yeah.
You get. But now from there, moving on is first of all you must decide: is saving your marriage worth it? It has to be a very communal argument. Is this marriage worth saving, or is it already dead? Some marriages are dead.
Yeah.
And they are basically hanging on a line. And some of them are listening and watching, say what? And I'm telling those who are watching, I'm speaking as a prophet. Your marriage has died. Stop resuscitating what has died.
Now you're a prophet of fool.
Number two, I will say this. As you are solving the matter or you decide to break it off, make sure you still maintain the sanity of your partner or your ex-to-be partner in the face of the children. Your partner did not cheat on the children, he cheated on you. So don't go around parading the father of your children or the mother to your children as a cheater. Protect their sanity. A man might be a good father, but a cheater to you. He didn't cheat on the children, he cheated on you.
Okay, that's
so this
rough,
thing of baba yenyu na wanawake, baba yenyu na wanawake, mama yenyu kazi yenyu ni wanaume, what's up? No. Because what you're doing is you are sending a signal and a frequency of a trauma that your children will never live from. And you know, children at times are very keen on picking sides. And at times they'll pick side on the person who brings out the emotions the most when they're hurt. And you find a lot of people who go around, a lot of ladies go around and saying, I don't like men, or I ended up becoming a lesbian because my father was a cheater. Yet you didn't know what happened. All right?
Okay.
But now once the two of you, if you've decided, I agree with Mamsu, that is a very wise statement.
Yes.
If the two of you have decided, then look for a very neutral person to help you solve the matter. A typical, don't go to parents. Remember, once again, I keep on telling people,
no parents.
The worst people to rush to for when there's an issue in marriage are your in-laws. You might forgive your partner, but your in-laws will never forgive your partner. Don't ever go to your parents or your brothers or sisters when there's an issue in marriage. Look for the likes of Pastor Sue and Pastor Monene, who are professionals in this.
Yes.
Then from there, I'll speak to the men that are listening, and I'll speak as a voice of this generation to the men of this generation. Once you have been discovered that you have cheated, and there's a window to be forgiven, now start working your way into bringing back the trust into your marriage.
I like that.
But what you can do is, as Pastor Sua said, don't do it. You cannot solve a crime from the place, at times from the place of the crime scene. So can you mind a holiday? Start studying or revising each other's body language. What is it that Mama likes? She likes flowers. She likes movie nights. She likes date nights. Was it spending time together was a problem? Start spending my time together. Is it accountability of where are you? I tell men, it is okay to tell your woman where you are, not because of Mekaliwa, but because it is respect and accountability. Let your wife know, I am at Quiver. Let your wife know, babe, I'll be coming home at this time.
Yeah.
Start rebuilding back the trust.
Yes.
All right?
Okay.
Then start doing stupid things. Let her flowers.
Najua mayeye.
Anza kununua mazawadi. These things work.
Tuma M-Pesa.
Yes.
No.
Come on.
No, because you see the problem is the foundation of a relationship is what determines what will hold the foundation, the relationship.
No,
if you start a marriage
flowers,
on money,
let's also send money or send something.
No. Money is something we should discuss next week, because my issue is when you start, women are a product of pattern. If you start a marriage or relationship from a point of money, then you have to sustain that marriage or relationship with money.
Well, for him, Kylie, no wonder.
No, me, I have money and I give. And I told you last week, no man is broke. You are just not worth spending on.
We remember that very well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. My feelings, I like it. Like it's deep. What do you think about what he's saying, and also that reconciliation bit? But also, there's something very important: emotional cheating.
Yes.
Not just the physical.
Thank you.
You start talking to somebody in the office.
Yes.
You like actually going to work. You have this connection with a colleague who you feel like, nisikianga, he understands me, she understands me.
Yes.
It's not physical, but it's actually already like it's emotional cheating.
Wonderful.
How do you move on from, because I think it's even the worst.
It is the worst. In fact,
ile tumeshikana kwa akili, yani tuna, you know.
Emotional cheating, I think for you to go to physical, it began from the emotions.
Yes.
And so emotional cheating is cheating. Equally like you would cheat physically.
Yes.
Yeah, and most of the people will tell you, no, why are you getting mad? And this person, we are just flirting.
We are just friends.
We are just friends. We just candled. You know, we just kissed. My goodness, that is cheating.
Yeah.
And so everyone who is in relationship and in marriage, you must know that emotional cheating is even worse than even physical. You know, much more as physical brings a lot of defilement. Because now you also don't know how many men and women this person has been cheating with.
Diseases.
Diseases also. You know, mapepo also. You know, sexually transmitted demons. You know,
what does that mean?
Sexually transmitted demons, because you never know what this person collected from the other person whom they were with.
Because people have souls,
and so people have things. I can't be flirting with someone. Mara, you send nude photos, my dear, and you are just just a friend. You can't send your nude photos to someone whom you really don't have an emotional attachment.
Absolutely.
So we have to know that there are things that we cannot do. There are do's and don'ts in relationship. And when every time you violate that, then it means you are not in for this marriage. You're not in for this relationship, and you just want to break it. I want to say this, that you cannot get into the mind of a person and in the heart of a person and change them. The change must begin from an individual. That's very key. Most of the women think, and most of the men think, I can change my partner. You have no authority to change any human being unless they also agree to change their ways.
Themselves,
and so these serial cheaters, sometimes their relationship, their marriages can't work. Because now he can't love you, you know, genuinely, because he's with this person, another day with this person, and at the end of the day, you feel also wasted. You feel betrayed.
You feel less.
You feel less, you know, and you wonder, what is this man looking for? And I want to agree with what Ofwe has said, that if a man or a woman is broken emotionally, that's when you find all this self-esteem, because also that's another cause of men and women going out of marriage. They feel that they have a low self-esteem, so they want someone who can massage this ego and this femininity, you know, for them to feel, to validate them. And so these things are things that we have to really avoid them no matter what. Like for me, if a man begins to talk to me and begins to ask me, you know, sexual, you know, things.
Like, how was your day? Oh, you look so pretty.
No, that's okay.
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay. Pretty is okay.
That's not okay with me.
Yeah, no, that's okay with me. Yeah, the worst is, how does Monene feel? You know, why you effed yesterday? Now, when you start that language, I know now where you are going. No. So I stop and block you. I even don't answer. Yeah. And then and if it's a friend, I tell my husband that this friend of yours, and I think it's like he has feelings towards me. When you are with you, can you protect me? You get that?
Being
so
honest.
I'll avoid him and allow him to be with my husband more, not me going to him, because women are able to sense. And, thank you. So you protect each other in a very wise way. And I also wanted to add something, that one of the causes of infidelity right now, Betty, you'll be amazed, men and women who watch pornography is another, you know, fueling ingredient that has really messed marriage. I want to tell all the people who are watching us, kindly, if you want to have a healthy relationship and a healthy marriage, you've got to stop watching porn. I don't know how many times we need to repeat this, but please, we guys, we have to stop that, because porn is not real. These guys know they are on camera. They know they are doing this for transactional sex, you know, money, all these things. So at the end of the day, when you watch porn, it gives you a mentality like, oh, I can go, you know, to atwaring everybody I meet on the road. No, stop watching porn. And then when you watch porn, what happens? You begin to masturbate. And when a man masturbates and a woman masturbates, you can't satisfy each other sexually. So you have created a vacuum.
Say what?
You see what? You see what? And so, if you're there and you are masturbating, I tell you, you can never satisfy your partner sexually. And that's why most of the times, when we are in my clinic, I treat such patients who have side effects concerning masturbation. So, if you're there, you need to see Pastor Sue.
Actually,
so that
you
we
have
rectify.
a clinic to
actually... we have a medical facility.
To help that.
And we are a team of doctors. At Kasarani, at Up Seasons, we have a clinic there where we see men who have these problems of side effects of masturbation. Because the masturbation affects your muscles, affects the blood blood vessels, affect your nerves.
This
and
is medical.
Yeah, this is medical.
Completely.
And a man who
So I
masturbates
think,
has no business with the wife, has no business with the husband.
Okay.
You get the point. So
I think maybe you can give us the number.
Yeah.
Then people can actually come for personalized.
Yes, and those who have erectile dysfunction, probably your husband has erectile dysfunction because he's diabetic, he's hypertension. So at the end of the day, you find this man cannot rise up to the occasion. So the wife thinks of going out and having this. Come, we treat that, we reverse that diabetes,
Actually,
that hypertension. We reverse those
where
cancer.
is this clinic? No, it's serious.
It's
what
very
you're
serious.
talking about is very serious.
It's very serious, my
that
dear.
Maybe
Wow.
You know,
we at Kasarani,
yes.
There's a stage.
Hauna breaks.
You know, when I'm convinced about something, I feel really sad that people are suffering, yet there is a solution.
Absolutely.
Like if you're there and you're suffering from side effects of masturbation,
issues,
yeah, whether you are a husband or not, it's private and confidential.
Yeah.
We're gonna reverse all those side effects because when a man masturbates, he will not have any desire for his wife and vice versa.
Why?
If you're there, you have erectile dysfunction. Say what?
Say
if you
what?
have low libido, come. We're gonna treat you, and you get back your manhood, you get back your sexuality, and you begin to enjoy Tuatua in your marriage. So there is hope. You're gonna give our number.
There is hope.
I'll give. There is hope.
You have to give the number before
I have to give my number.
You have to give the number.
Yes.
We have to save this nation.
Oh yes, we have to save this nation.
So as we wrap up, Ofu, are you there? Come to my rescue.
Oh yes, yes.
Wait. I wish actually ungekuwa pale. Umesikia I don't even know what to, so Ofu, let me ask you a question, of course, and I want you to comment about what Pastor Sue has just said. But apart from that, when do you actually say no and you just say it's enough? Because we can't also be forgive until when? For you, Ofu, as we wrap up the conversation, when do you say stop? When do you say no, it's enough, and move on from such abusive situations?
I always advise men on Chamber of Radio 47 from 7 to 10 Monday to Friday.
Now unaanza kuadvertise show yako sasa, Ofu.
Yes. And I tell men, if it's not working, it is not working.
Yes, there you go.
Because some of you are not married to the wife of your spirit. Some of you are married to the wife of your flesh. You may digest?
Nakusikia hata Pastor Sue amekubali.
Some of you are married to the wife. If you're married to a wife of your spirit, then solving issues can never be a problem. But if you're married to a wife of your flesh, then it becomes an issue. And then again, number two, Pastor Sue, correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Yes.
Some of the reasons why some of these marriages are not working relationships, Betty, is because of you. Some of you actually married the problems you were supposed to solve. It was that woman was not your wife. That woman she came for help. Some people came for help to you, but you ended up marrying the problem instead of solving the problem. All right?
Yes.
That's why you have a disconnection. Now, if it becomes toxic in any kind of way, so I'll tell men, can men start learning to speak when they feel like they're not getting what they want? If your woman has not learned your love language, start teaching her verbally and even in terms of body language. Let her know how you like being loved and how being treated. At times men, we are at fault because we don't speak how we want to be loved. Kama unataka kukatwa makucha on Sundays afternoon, mkiwatch TV47, please say, when you cut my nails, I feel loved. Tell your man, I like it when you fix my tie. I like it when you iron my shirt. I like it when you fix my shoelaces. I like it when you kiss me on the forehead. Do not let Njeri at Quiver go to do the thing that to your man that your man likes.
Do you have anything against?
No, I'm just saying because some of you ladies are losing your men to women you don't think are enough. But men don't care. Men care about how they are treated. They don't care about the standard of the class of the woman. They care about how is that woman making him feel. So first of all, men, allude, say how you want to be treated. Explain your love language. If she doesn't get it, then you're just dealing with a kichwangumu. And what do you do to a kichwangumu? You let her go. A kichwangumu must be punished. And punishing is by cutting connection. Let her go.
Well,
it is plain and simple.
This is the time I normally kick you out of the show.
Mimi hata nimeenda niko hapa na Romoru na nimekiwa nyama hata nirudi na nyuki sasa mmeni.
Wasalimia wase Bogi.
Na wasalimia sana. I'm going back now. I've had to go back because there's no need of me rushing to Nairobi. So I'm going back to Nanyuki. Wacha nikasalimia tu. I'll pass my love from TV47 and Radio 47.
Absolutely.
But Pastor Sue, I've missed you, Mami. I've missed you guys, and I must say this. Pastor Sue, I love the green shoes. They match well, and Betty, the dress. Can you get that dress in many colors? You look beautiful and amazing. And I love the fringe of your hair.
Really
I love the fringe of your hair.
All right.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Hey, Ofulu, I'm kind of the right side of the bed. He normally is not like that, but
yes.
I like what he said.
Yes.
Your parting shot, he said, you know, we need to look at the people who we're getting into marriage. What is your, like, the last, you know, comments?
I think the challenge we have is because most of the times when we are getting to relationship and marriage, we don't have enough knowledge on how to identify the right wife, the right husband. All these things we don't know. We just meet, and there you think this person is meant for me, and you get in. So most of the things we learn them, you actually learn them when you're already inside. I want to say that premarital counseling is very important, and I want to talk to the Kenyans to invest in knowledge. When you hear there's a seminar for relationship and marriage, come and listen. You might get one nugget. They just come and listen. Yeah, they do work. They work.
I know you have one, a very serious one in your church.
Yes. Serious one, because they work. And I remember one of the person I met today. They are now married with 2 children, and he was saying, "Do you know, Pastor Sue? I and my husband, you made us have a holy wedding because of the things that you kept on pumping to us when we were youths. The consequences of having sex before marriage, and that kept us." You get that? That's what kept us. And for me, that was enough. And told me we would have almost missed. But when we remember what you told us, you kept us on track. And so what are we saying? It's good to invest in relationship, because if you don't have knowledge about a certain area, then you find you have difficulties in navigating the right way. And so investing in knowledge is very important. Having mentors, again, is very important. People can actually challenge you and correct you. You are accountable to. And that's where I am.
Where you guys are.
Like we have 7 mentors in our marriage.
Pastor Munene,
I and Pastor Munene, we have 7 mentors. People who question us. Very serious question. How is your sexual life? How is your prayer life? How are the children? How is your finances? Is there any challenge? And we speak out. I speak out my mind. He speaks out his mind. And at the end of the day, we are reconciled. So we are a total sum of other people's input. We are not self-made. And so we need to understand that since there is no script about relationship and marriage, you've got to get people to come in. And people who are credible. And people who are real. Yes. And I want to say this. When you have that, then you find there's a lot of acceptance of each other, despite your differences. There is that complementation, and there is that understanding, the ability to stand under someone and look things from their own perspective. Because as we have always said, that the Adamic nature is selfish. You want things done, the way you want.
Your way.
You don't want, but in marriage, you've got to know, since this person is in my life, I also have to look things from their perspective and see what is that they are seeing, what is that is in their mind that I'm not able to see. And when that comes in, then you find you're able to walk the journey of marriage very, very, very comfortably. So I want to say that infidelity, there is no marriage that cannot get into infidelity. But if you have a serial cheater, please no. Hapana, hiyo tumekataa. Hiyo tumekataa kabisa. Hiyo tumekataa. Hata Yesu alisema, the only thing that can make a husband and a wife separate is infidelity. And I think those cheaters are serious cheaters. Not someone who cheats once. But if you are cheating and I find you again, you tell me, sorry, no, I don't think that one I would take.
Let's
not talk about that. Because now, why are you cheating at the end of the day? And what you are going for outside, you have it with your wife, you have it with your husband.
Tell me what to do. So tell me how to change.
Thank you.
How to be better.
Thank you.
To smile me to my the show. But also, Pastor, there's something else I want to just ask you.
Yes.
And we can't talk about it so much right now because of time.
Yes.
But I think our counselors of Kanisa, they don't do justice.
They don't do justice.
Because when I want to feature...
They blame the wife and they want to show that the wife has failed. But you see, it takes 2 to make a marriage.
Even premarital counseling.
Yes.
Wana feature vitu mingi. And then mtajisort.
Kwanza mambo ya toa mnaambiwa mtajulia mbele. And at the end of the day, you find that's where mess comes in. And so we have to be very intentional that marriage and relationship has to work, and marriage is not a scam, brethren. Guys, marriage is not a scam. If marriage is a scam, then you and your partner, you are scams.
You're a scam.
Yeah,
You're a scam.
you can only produce a scam. So let's work it out. It is possible to have a very good marriage without infidelity, because what you need is all in your man.
Absolutely.
It's all in a woman.
Look deep.
Good, look deep. Don't look shallow.
Thank you.
See when I can't avoid you in the next episode. God bless you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah.
And I'll see you again next week. We'll see you again
next
Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Say what?
Bye.
Bye. Oh my